there's kind of a tremendous amount of fear around the coronavirus, and so we're dealing with that. I'm trying to deal with that with both patients and coworkers, with all the ancillary staff in the hospital, and then even family members, family members of my colleagues and myself who, are nervous about us going in and working with all the coronavirus patients.
My last job was March 17th, and that's pretty much when things got really bad here in New England. So that's when all my work just fell off a cliff.
When you get called up to do things, it'll be life-changing, but to actually have lived it, this is really a unique and very precious experience for me.
It's interesting. It's hard. Like a lot of businesses who are closed. I am closed right now, so there isn't an income. And then just also being kind of isolating, it is difficult.
Again, it's not just how we cover things that's changed, but it's what's happening out there that's changed. I mean, it's everybody's lives have been changed by this.
Even in the news, everything's changing too, with like, wear a mask, don't wear a cloth mask, but wait, yes, do that. So this constant changing has caused almost like chaos with the customers in a way.
I think we all have challenges every day when sometimes we're not able to forget what's going on, but I'm able to, for the most part, get into my work and think about what I'm doing, where I'm driving,
Yeah.
So it's good.
I got a call from Dr. Fair, and she asked if I would be interested in joining the infectious disease team. I had some experience in the hospital before, and so she thought that I could come over and just help out with the team. So I said, sure, I'll come over. And then that night I thought about it. I'm like, oh my God, what have I agreed to do? I was pretty nervous. I'll tell you, I did not sleep that night. And I went in the morning, and there was so much fear. It was palpable. But initially we would go to every single department, every single floor, and check out and just listen to concerns and see if there were any shortages on PPE, or just to look to see what they had put in place for precautions or storage, etc. And so first of all, I was fascinated by the inner workings of a hospital. I saw that place head to toe, and I couldn't believe it, because mainly I've been, I would stick to the medical floors, but we were everywhere. And I'm so impressed how much everyone comes together.
People ask me all the time, I'm 67, I'm a cancer survivor. So I get this a few times a week, when are you gonna retire? And it hasn't crossed my mind, because I enjoy getting up, working every day, going to work. I'm in the air division, so all of our packages are time committed, which we could go to Anna Jake's hospital with overnight transplant tissue or organs, or machine shops with parts that needed to be there at a certain time. Now with the stay-at-home order, people are ordering just everything. You kind of look at the labeling and you're like, oh boy, another, this or another that. But it's okay. I mean, a lot of the younger drivers get overwhelmed when they look at their trucks and they can't even get through it. But I've been through a lot tougher challenges than, working with a truck full of packages.
I got into massage because my first year as a nurse, about 21 years ago, it's kind of crazy to say, I worked in critical care, and I sustained a back injury. I just kind of saw a patient about to fall, and I just ran to kind of break the fall. But by the time I realized what I was doing and what had happened, it was already too late. And what it boiled down to is they said, you may as well kiss your nursing career goodbye. I, at the time, was seeing a massage therapist as well for relaxation, just once a month, throughout my nursing school career. And he said, give me a month and I'll get you back to work.
Wow.
And so I had nothing to lose, and I tried it. And yeah, he got me back to work in a month, and actually just 2 days shy of a month.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to I want to take someone who's in pain and help them get back to their baseline, or as close to their baseline as possible. I get calls, texts, emails, every day just saying, we can't wait till you open. We need you, we miss you. That just feels so good, and I miss them as well. I miss working on bodies,
I'm doing online schooling, working towards my bachelor's, and I am doing part-time work at Crosby's in Georgetown, which is a grocery store. I'm just like a cashier, or I'll do the customer service booth, which means like selling lottery tickets, answering the phone, directing them to the right people, and just kind of talking to customers, asking them what they need. And I know it's kind of a little difficult to almost be positive in this time that we're currently experiencing, but it's been really great. And like some folks have been like really great, and even like tipping like the bagger who's going out and helping them with their $800 order. Like people are spending like $800. So it's been really nice to be able to see them like get like just that small like little reward and notice. People need food, which is totally understandable. It's actually really interesting being called essential for like one time in my life, where I'm kind of like, I'm almost like, totally, I love like that people do appreciate it, and some people are really way more appreciative than others. But the whole essential thing, I'm just like, I'm tired, but thank you.
We're definitely there for each other. So, I've always found my experience, when you pick a specialty in medicine, you kind of want to find your people, and my people were the emergency medicine people, and I realized that pretty quickly. So we're there for each other in that, some people are, have more fear about what's going on. Maybe they have loved ones at home. I have friends that are not living at home with their either parents or with their small kids. They've had to move into hotel rooms or another family member's house for months, not seeing their family, to try to keep them safe. So we support each other, I think, both in work and outside of work. I have a friend who's pregnant, who's trying to figure out what's safe for her to do throughout all this. And so we're really kind of bonding together in that way. I think there's definitely a sense that we're all in it together. So, the nursing staff, the techs, and the docs are all kind of going into all these rooms and taking care of these patients, and, trying to have each other's back, and making sure that when we put on the protective equipment and take it off, that we're watching everyone do it, so we can catch if someone is missing something or needs a reminder for another step, to kind of keep everybody safe. So I would say that has brought us closer together in terms of teamwork.
Jobs lined up for the rest of March and into April, and everything canceled. So I happen to have a job tomorrow. Today is April 27th. I have one job tomorrow. It's been the first job in a month and a half. I worked on America's Test Kitchen for 11 years, and Cook's Country, both cooking shows. So I developed a sort of talent for cooking over those 10 years, watching the pros do it for so long. So I've been experimenting with a lot of new recipes, made whoopie pies for the first time from scratch. I'm an aircraft mechanic in the 157th Air Refueling Wing up here in New Hampshire. And we are still going in, doing our drill. We have, some restrictions got to do, and we go out on the airplane, and, if we're, working in the cockpit, we all got to wear masks if we're all, so we do a lot of training, so we wear masks when we're in there. But camaraderie is a huge part of any successful group or venture. There's no one's an island, right? You gotta work with your mates, and we do a pretty good job of it. In my shop, we call it a shop, which is my section we're always we're on a group text together. You usually have, every other day or something like that, we're bantering back and forth on text and just keeping it real with each other. You got my supervisors every few days go, how's everyone feeling?
I'm alone in my office. Actually, on the other side of the building, one of our advertising representatives is there working for a little while, but for the most part, I've been alone in the newsroom for 6 weeks, and we've all been working, the staff has been working remotely. Kind of early on, I decided I needed to be based in my office if I could, just because of the phones and email communication, and in case anybody dropped by and banged on the window and slid something under the door. It's really essential that people get information from credible sources and that they know where the information is coming from. Just because it's on Facebook doesn't mean it's true. I think we all know that, but you have to remember that when you're reading something and somebody forwards you something about the coronavirus, and you just can't, you have to know where it comes from. You always want to ask, what's the source of this? And, the role of the local newspaper and how people are aware of it. I grew up in Southern Indiana, and small city, actually, a city slightly smaller than Newburyport. It was the county seat, and it had a daily newspaper 6 days a week. And that newspaper, the whole time I was growing up, that was the lifeblood. Everything was in there, everything. That was back when they published who was admitted to the hospital and who was released from the hospital. I can't imagine doing that today. It just doesn't, everybody was in that newspaper. You looked for your name, your picture, your sports team, whatever. That newspaper stopped printing a newspaper about 6 months ago. They went to 1 day a week from 6, and they try to publish online. And I keep in touch with some folks back there, and I've been monitoring it, and they're getting no information. Coronavirus is in Indiana like it is everywhere else, and it's almost impossible to find out what's going on. And that, to me, is frightening.
The social isolation, I think, is working. I think that we've flattened the curve, and we're doing a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, I think people are going to be more appreciative of touch, more appreciative of just experiencing another person.
It's been an enormous learning experience for me. And the infectious disease doctor that I work closely with is a wonderful teacher, and he's very patient, and he's very, very knowledgeable. So that, I have to say, that makes me feel so safe in our community too, that we have somebody like him.
Most people have been supportive of us in this. They understand the role that a local news outlet like this plays.
I do love my job. I really do. Of course, getting up at 4:30 in the morning every day, sometimes, it's a little tough.